Hi everybody, welcome back to another video. I've got a question. I've had a lot of questions from yesterday on the video I did on Facebook advertising and how I've earned £15,000 on my books, £15,000 for the month and about £10,000 in profit. And this is really from Facebook advertising, which I learned a lot from Matt Holmes' course, Matthew J. Holmes. He's got a brilliant course called Facebook Ads for Authors. But I've got my own spin on things that I do as well. But that gave me the fundamentals to learn a lot of Facebook advertising properly. And I've done it in the past. Facebook advertising, I've spent about, I don't know, over the years, about $60,000, $70,000 on advertising. But it changes, it's very dynamic. And Matt Holmes' course kind of brought me back to the grounding level for it. And it really gave me the fundamentals again to start testing things. So I got a question yesterday that I want to answer in this video, and I'm not going to mention names, but somebody's put here, "Hi Stephen, just watched your very detailed video and commented on your post. I'm in a similar position to where you are a year ago. Multiple books, advertising, got some audiobooks out. Sales are okay and I'm slowly scaling. I left my job at the end of last year, so my hobby is becoming more important. Scaling FB ads is a thing which blows me up. I start small, £3 to £5 per day, but every time I push the budget up, boom, the ads become much less effective. Cheers." So there's a couple of things we have to answer here. And the first one is, who is your target audience? So if you know who your target audience is, and we're talking about kind of broad target audience. So if my target audience for my books is predominantly female between the ages of 30 and 65 plus. How do we know this? Because most readers on Amazon are female, and that's between 60 and 80% estimated, and that's from various sources, but they're mostly female. They're mostly female that interact with my author page as well. They're mostly female, and I can check stats and stuff like that as well. And I've done some testing, well, a lot of testing to males as well, and it doesn't really work as well with males. For some reason, I don't know why. And the books don't appeal to male readers. I'm not saying all of them. So what I'm talking about here is, if you know your target audience, say mine is female between 30 and 65, that's all you do. You just target to that audience. So female, 30 to 65 plus, and that's it. Do not niche it down. Do not type in interests at all. So I'm going to show you here one of the active ads. I've just started yesterday actually. So I'll show you this, and we'll go into the ad itself and we'll edit it, and you can see it's targeting to my author page, and I'm just testing this just now, purely for testing, nothing else. So we'll be able to see it on a bigger scale here, and you can see I'm testing 3 different ads. So we're testing here, which is what Matt Holmes' course really kind of taught me to do, was do the creative testing. For static ads like this, what I've been doing is video ads, so I'm trying some static ads here. So the point of this is, if we go into it and see who the target audience is, we're going to be looking at United States and female between 30 and 65 plus, and the audience size is 71 million to 84 million. That's the audience size. We're going totally broad with this, apart from gender and apart from age, but you can put in male. I could edit that to put in male as well, just to test it, and I've tested in the past, so I know it doesn't really work with males. It's something like about 1.7 times the price per click, and the cost per click is 1.7 times higher for some reason, I don't know, but obviously I'll test again because it's always dynamic as well. And what happens is, Facebook are going to decide, once they've kind of let this run for a couple of weeks, they're going to say, okay, these are the groups of people that are mostly clicking on your ad. So they'll kind of decide the demographics, and the audience will decide itself as well. If an audience sees an advert for a book and they click on it straight away, that's your type of audience. That's the perfect person for your book, because they see, oh, it's a witchy book, they've got a review on it or something like that, and they click on the Shop Now button. That's your ideal audience. But if somebody looks at that and go, I'm not interested in books, I'm not interested in witches, I'm not interested in Amazon Kindle, they'll just swipe through. They'll go through and they won't click on it. not your ideal audience, and that's perfect. So you let your audience decide instead of you deciding what niche you're going to send it to. Because a lot of people will just say, okay, I'm going to target these types of people, and I'm going to target this audience as well, people that like fantasy books, for example. So we're going to go really broad with this. So that's the first thing. So we go broad. After you know who your audience is, all you need is gender and age range. If that's all you've got, fantastic. That's all you need. The other thing is that the person here is talking about is scaling the ads. How do you scale the ads? If you've done £3 to £5 per day, and then you put it up to say £5 and then £7 per day and then £10 per day, and you're getting diminishing returns, how do you then scale it? So there's two ways to scale. You've got vertical scaling, where you're just going to go up the way and you get you throw more money into that particular ad because it's worked or whatever. I'm going to take this off. I'm going to go to campaigns, and you see here I've scaled up quite a few of these from $5 a day, £5 per day, up to £30 per day, and I've gone up to £40 per day and come back down again. So that's us going vertical. We're throwing more money into it. After the £5 per day, we'll do £10 a day and £15 per day. Not quite as quick as that. So you're going vertical, you're just putting more money in. The other way to scale your ads is to go horizontal. And this is what we're looking at as well, and doing more ads. So you test more ads, which is what I've started yesterday. I'm testing another set of creatives for the ad. I'll find a winning creative and test that until I can put more money into it, and then I'll scale that up to maybe £30 per day or £40 or £50. A lot of people can even put in £150, it just depends. But with books, it's more difficult because your margins are much smaller. If you're only making £1.50 on a book for the royalties, or even less than that sometimes, but hopefully if you're in KDP you'll get more on that with the page reads, and this is why KDP really works for me, because I know when I advertise I'm getting page reads as well, which is brilliant. So if your margins are really small like that, it's brilliant to test horizontally and scale horizontally instead of vertically. But if you find a really brilliant ad that's really working, then you can scale it vertically and just test it with 20% every time you put it up. So if you're seeing it's working, then a couple of days later, put it up by 20%. So it's £5, put up by 20%, put up to £6, 20% again, 20% again, £7.20, and then you keep going up that way. So that's another way to scale it vertically. You might be scaling it too quick. So two ways to scale: vertically, horizontally. Vertically is more money in, horizontally is more ads. So you get more content out there as well, so more people or different people are getting to see it. And the other one is go broad with your advertising on Facebook. And that's what we've found, and that's what Matt teaches. And I'm not telling you what's in his course because it's a lot more detailed, but he's done a lot of podcasts. He's done a brilliant podcast with two indie authors, I think it's called. He's done a great podcast with them, and he kind of tells us to go broad. So I'm not giving away any secrets here. So that's what to think about in your Facebook advertising. Once you've got that dialed in, I think you're going to see a massive difference in your advertising. First couple of weeks, you're going to get high costs. So cost per click for me is 23 pence per click just now, which is not good. I want it down to 7 pence per click. A lot of these are kind of starting to go up again. I've got 10 pence per click, so that's probably the average for a couple of months before it goes up. So you can stop it and start it again. Anyway, I've gone on too long. Hope I answered your question there, and hopefully that helps you as well with your Facebook advertising for your books as well. If you've got other products, this is going to work brilliantly as well, because probably the margin is going to be much better for you than the margin that you would have on a book. Okay, until next time, namaste, take care, bye now.